There is a quiet yet crucial truth that many people fail to realize. Women do not stop loving after the age of 40. They simply stop loving in the old way. And this is not abandonment, not a sign of a cold heart or an emotionally depleted soul. Quite the opposite. This is the result of a long inner evolution, where emotions no longer unconsciously control them, but are instead guided by matured emotional intelligence and self-respect. After 40, a woman's greatest value no longer lies in being desired or chosen. It lies in autonomy. Autonomy over finances, living space, daily rhythms, and most profoundly, autonomy over her own emotions. At this stage, many women have navigated careers, have loved, committed, broken, and healed. They no longer face the question of how do I become loved? The real question now is, what does a relationship bring to my inner life? And it is here that a silent yet revolutionary shift begins. What was once hailed as the gold standard of love, chemistry, that intense attraction, the nervous excitement, the racing heart, the constantly activated nervous system, gradually loses its central position. Not because it disappears, but because they understand its cost. In youth, chemistry was more than just physical attraction. It was a deeper psychological signal. I am seen, I am chosen, I still have worth. In a world that subtly judges women by age and appearance, that feeling of being desired acted like a dose of self-validation. And in youth, with abundant energy and high resilience, it was easy to confuse drama with passion, emotional instability with the depth of love. Relationships that rose and fell like roller coasters, arguments and reconciliations, wild love and pain, all were packaged into the single word chemistry and romanticized as destiny. But chemistry has a nature that only becomes clear with enough distance. It activates the nervous system more than it nourishes the soul. It creates excitement but often accompanies it with insecurity. It fascinates, but it also makes one wary. Under its glittering light, many fundamental incompatibilities are overlooked. Differences in life values, conflict resolution styles, levels of emotional maturity. People believe love alone can change everything. And then, after a while, fatigue sets in. Women over 40 often no longer view chemistry with that naive gaze. Not because they are bitter, but because they have paid enough. They have sacrificed time, energy, sometimes even their own voice to maintain a relationship fueled by intense emotion. They have waited for vague promises. They have wondered if they weren't good enough, attractive enough, patient enough. And after many such cycles, a very clear awareness emerges. They are no longer afraid to love. They are afraid of continuing to trade their inner peace for fleeting moments of euphoria, followed by chaos. It is from here that peace begins to take center stage in this new value system. But it is crucial to understand, peace is not surface-level quiet. It is not a lack of emotion. It is a state of deep internal safety. It is the feeling of one's nervous system relaxing in someone's presence. It is the ability to exhale a long breath instead of being constantly in a state of tense vigilance. Peace does not make your heart beat faster. It allows your heartbeat to return to a steady rhythm. This choice is tightly bound to the real-life circumstances of women over 40. Financially, many are independent. They no longer need a relationship for survival. This removes a very dangerous motive in love. Staying out of fear of losing material safety. In terms of life experience, they have had enough encounters to recognize red flags and appreciate green flags. More importantly, they have built a relatively healthy relationship with themselves. They understand their own needs. They know where their boundaries are. And they understand that time and energy are now finite resources. At this stage, every peaceful evening, every deep sleep, every day not spent anxiously waiting or decoding someone else's emotions becomes a precious asset. And they are not willing to trade those for relationships that keep the mind in a constant state of alarm. This is also where many misunderstand. They think women choose peace because they fear emotion, fear passion, fear excitement. The reality is the opposite. Women after 40 do not lack the capacity for deep love. They simply no longer want to love in chaos. For them, peace is the necessary condition for emotions to exist healthily. It is the psychological space where they can be themselves, without straining, without performing, without shrinking to fit another's expectations. In a relationship that provides peace, silence is not mistaken for coldness. It is simply two people feeling safe enough not to need to fill every gap. Conflict does not turn into war. It becomes a dialogue. Difference does not lead to control. It leads to respect. There, a woman does not need to be constantly on the defensive, guessing the other's thoughts, bracing for an unexpected emotional storm. And, interestingly, it is precisely within this peaceful space that a different kind of chemistry begins to form. Not the impulsive chemistry of the early days, but a deep-seated attraction built on a foundation of safety, trust, and respect. When insecurity is gone, intimacy becomes more authentic. When the need to prove one's worth is gone, connection becomes more natural. This is a type of passion that does not exhaust. It fortifies. Women over 40 are not seeking someone to add drama to their lives. They are seeking someone who can help keep the rhythm of life with them. A partner, not an emotional project. They observe closely how this person handles conflict, if they keep their word, if they respect personal space, if they make them feel emotionally safe. And above all, they ask a simple but profound question. When I am with this person, can I be myself? Choosing peace is therefore not a compromise. It is the result of setting boundaries and having the courage to defend them. It is an upgrade in love standards, not a lowering. Love at this stage may arrive more slowly, but when it does, it tends to stay. It has fewer flowery promises, but more genuine presence. Less drama to recount, but more stability to live with. And perhaps, this is the most important point. Choosing peace is not a sign of being past one's prime, of no longer loving, or of fearing hurt. It is the highest expression of self-respect. It is the moment a woman tells herself, I no longer need the thrills that make me lose myself to feel alive. I choose what nourishes me for the long term. Women over 40 are not rejecting love. They are only rejecting the forms of love that cost them their inner peace. And in that choice, there is no weakness, only clarity, and a great deal of strength.